create your own mini economy and how you're going to use it. So if I create my own token, and then I say, well, now you can use this token to buy into my platform. You buy into my platform, but I also have a store right here. Then I'm creating this ecosystem, this economy to where it's self-circulating in my system. And each person has that ability to do that right now, utilizing the blockchain, because that's the technology that facilitates it, in AI smart contracts. One of the hardest things that has always been to do in our society since the beginning of time, it seems, is to trust people. How many know somebody they can't trust? I know all hands should go up. We got a couple of people we can't trust. But see, if we create an agreement between that person that we can't trust and we put it in an AI smart contract on the blockchain, then we don't need to trust them. Because the machine is going to facilitate it. So they can't cheat us, they can't lie to us, deceive us, quit on us, nothing. That's the beauty of the blockchain. So, when it comes to understanding tokenomics, if you cannot list the reasons why you think a particular project is good, or you cannot specify key information, such as how many wallet holders exist, etc., then you should not jump in. Do not allow yourself to simply be controlled by the environment and information that's present or trending in Discord or Telegram groups. Inexperienced investors will immediately react to coin hype without researching and will ultimately lose out. How many people bought into the hype before? We don't like to admit it. We bought into the hype. I bought into the hype. I made some money. I've had multiple six-figure days trading, right? Because I also understand, well, let's say a coin such as Doge, as I dare say the name. People bought it because of the hype. Somebody told me they made money. I want to make money. Guess what? It now influences my behavior to go buy some. That money went up. I think I'm going to buy some more. That's why we jump in. That's called FOMO, the fear of missing out, right? So if we don't know why we're getting into it, then we're just controlled by the environment of it. And the environment is the news. The environment is the social media. The environment is a friend telling you. But what is the tokenomics? What does it actually do? Now, if I was to look at something like Doge, I would say the only tokenomics that it has right now is its true social impact. That a lot of people are talking about it. It's trending. So therefore, I know it's going to control the behavior of millions of people. So I'm going to what? Buy the news and sell the rumor. But that's not any long-term investment because we've seen it go up, then come down. So the goal is to figure out better tokenomics so that it can have a long-term future so that people can hold and buy more into the ecosystem. So, what are the signals that a project is good to invest in? Well, the presentation I was just given with ABiTNetwork are very good signals. It has an ecosystem. It has ways where you can invest in it through gaming. It has ways you can invest into farming projects. It has staking. It has a great website. The CEOs of it are doxed, meaning you actually know who's running the project, so they can't just run off with the money. You can look at the tokenomics and see whether they burned or who owns the liquidity pool. For a lot of you all, some of these words may be new, but I always say every level of consciousness comes with a new language. See, the crypto trader has a different verbiage and a different language than the non-crypto trader. The rich man speaks differently than the poor man, right? So it's going to be you all's opportunity to invest in your education to learn, because the quicker you learn, the quicker you earn. How many people have earned cryptocurrency in this room? Now, I didn't say bought. I said earned. Some of the hands went down because it's a difference. My brother, he been getting it. His hands been up the whole time. I'm going to talk to him afterwards. But it's important because once you truly understand crypto, you're not just buying anymore. Because when was the last time you bought some money? See, if you think crypto is a currency, then how come you're only thinking about buying it and not actually earning it? So when you talk about good tokenomics and they're talking about staking and yield pools, those are ways to actually earn it. So that's the mindset shift that I want everybody to have in here. How will I earn cryptocurrency? Not just how do I buy it. That's how you take crypto in someone else's wallet and put it in yours. And that's what I like doing. All right. Has the project going through auditing within the first few days of launch? These are very technical things that you can look at when you're jumping into a project, right? To see it's actually been audited. And so they do audits on the coin to figure out if it has good tokenomics or not, right? So that they can look at all of the red flags. They go look at the actual contract, and they can figure out whether this is something that could be viable for people to jump in or not. Now, it doesn't mean that you should 100% trust it, but what you want to start doing is creating a checklist. You want to start creating a checklist, right, of why you're getting into this project, and then what it's going to do is going to decrease your risk and increase your probability of profit, right? Just recently, Mark Cuban, a billionaire, had the rug pulled on a project. It went from like $60 to like 60 cents. I can only imagine how much money he put in. But if he understood tokenomics and did the proper audit, then he could have avoided the whole fiasco. So you have to beware of honeypots, coins that are straight buy and no sell transactions. No tokenomics whatsoever. So there are infinite wealth strategies when it comes to cryptocurrency, blockchain, right? And it's going to be our mindset in the way that we go about utilizing cryptocurrency, blockchain, technology now and for tomorrow that will determine how much we get out of it and how we utilize it to build our wealth opportunities. So a little bit about me. I just got up here and start talking, right? I am considered to be a global thought leader. I help people around the world change their mindset when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to business, when it comes to wealth, when it comes to technology, right? I bring communities together. I travel around the world. I speak, and I help people do for self. I was born in Oakland, California, and there I grew up in a very rough environment in Oakland, right? By the age of 19, I had been to jail over a dozen times. I had several court cases that I actually took to trial and I beat, so I have a clean record. And I decided that during one of these court cases, I was reading a book. And I read the book, and it was a nonfiction book, or a fiction book rather, and it was a beautiful story. And I'm reading this story, and it maybe took me about a day or two. And then afterwards, I was done reading the book, and I closed it to the last page, and I realized that I'm locked up in jail. I'm still not free. And it had nothing to do with me gaining my freedom or empowering me whatsoever. So my older brother gave me some books to read while I was going through trial. And these books that I read actually helped me beat the case because I was telling my lawyer things that he could do, that he wasn't going to do at first. And when they got to that point and they said, Jabril, Fuad, Muhammad, not guilty, I decided from that day forward that I was only going to utilize information that was towards my power and my freedom. So anytime that I'm learning or teaching, I'm utilizing and thinking, how can I apply it? And I'm trying to simplify concepts so that the average person can take in information, not for entertainment, but for empowerment. Because the more we learn is the more we earn. Anything you learn today, you should be able to use for what? Tomorrow. So when we're talking about the application of things, that's where the power is. Not just what it is, but how can I actually utilize it and apply it in real time. So when we're talking about, let me go to the second slide first. We started on 2. I want to go to 1. My man back there, he gonna get me right. All right. So, tokenization of everything. What if all your personal assets could be combined and broken into smaller coins? Suppose your total assets add up to $1 million. If you then created 100 coins, each would have a worth of $10,000. These tokens could then be used as leverage without needing a bank, paperwork, or a financial manager. So what you're talking about, tokenizing everything, is the future, right? Taking everything that taking these tokens and having them actually backed by something. In America, we used to have money that was backed by something, gold. Now it's no longer backed by gold. It's not backed by anything except the blood, sweat, tears, and debt of the American people, right? Which means it doesn't have true intrinsic value. So when you're looking at your opportunities now, I can take my gold and I can say, okay, I want to create a token behind it. This token is worth 1 kilo, right? So now that I can leverage this for a loan if I want to, or I can leverage this on a project. When you're going to look at your assets when you get home, I want you to think about how you can start to leverage the things you own. Because when we talk about infinite wealth strategies, we're talking about how creative you can get with this technology. The reason that blockchain has not taken over the world yet, because the next mind with the best idea either hasn't thought of it or it hasn't been funded yet. It's not that the opportunity is not already there, it's maybe you don't understand it enough to think creative enough to say, okay, this is how we're going to apply it, right? Through different business industries and tokenizing it, we can find a use case for every single thing. Blockchain technology is the most disruptive technology since the light bulb. When we're talking about new industrial revolutions, here it is, and we are living and existing in a moment of time where each one of us took it serious and made it their business. You can build wealth and become millionaires or Satoshi-naires, however you want to call it. But without the understanding, then we don't get to that true capability. So when we're talking about the application of tokens, even home or business owners may be tokenized one day. If your home is worth 500K, you can divide up the ownership into 100 tokens worth 5,000 each, and either sell or trade partial ownership. This is how you start to create utility in coins to where they say you can buy into a project, you have partial ownership, the percentage that it goes up and the percentage that you own goes up at the same time, right? So now, if you cannot afford to buy a whole home, you can still buy partial ownership of that home, right, and take part of the value increase. So therefore, wealth is measured and determined by how many assets you own and hold and increase. How many in here want to be wealthy? We should see every hand go up. I need 100% participation on this one. Wealth is a must, right? Wealth allows us to afford our opportunities, our investments, our education. Wealth is what allows the future generations of our family to be successful, to be happy, to think about the things that they want to produce out their imagination, to not be forced into an education because they're trying to make their family happy, but we go into an educational field because they want to stimulate themselves and they want to add to the world. But without wealth, then we cannot take the opportunities because we're stuck fighting the bills, fighting the distractions, not being able to do the things that we truly want to do. Now, recently, I dropped me an NFT. Now, when I dropped my NFT, don't do it like I did. Because when I dropped it, I put the bid price, or I put the buy price, when it was supposed to be a bid price, right? So that the first person that was able to bid on it actually was able to buy it. Now, I sold this for 4 Ethereum at the time, which was worth about $16,444, right, at the time of buying. But I wanted to create an all-out bidding war. I wanted to be like Beeple, you know, the black people. But it didn't work out for me. But the reason I like NFTs is because NFTs open up a whole new operation, a whole new opportunity. Right? Recently, I just dropped a new course called Infinite Wealth Strategies, and what I did was I decided to drop an NFT, and whoever buys the NFT can get access to the course. But then if they want to get commission, once they get access, then they can sell the coin and get 20% commission on it, because I'm only creating 1,000 tokens, right? Or 1,000 NFTs. But then I can also say, created a concept called benefits of ownership, that I can say, okay, if you hold it, and you own this particular token, let's say in July, then you can also have access to my convention, or you can have access to my next content, right? This will make the value of the NFT go up, and other people may want to buy and bid because there's scarcity. So the reason I'm telling you the way I did it, because I want you to understand that once you get into things, don't just ask, how do we use it? Think about how you're going to use it, right? How does it apply and fit to your business, your strategy when it comes to building wealth and taking your opportunities? So a little bit more about me is I have a podcast. My podcast is globally streamed around the world, right? We have just about to go platinum, and I need to be a little more consistent, which is about to happen right now. And my next one most likely is going to be about Tatcoin and cryptocurrency in the broader framework of tokenomics and creativity. Now, I believe that every single person in this room should start a podcast and write a book, right? Because at the same time, if there was a book written for every living human being that ever existed, there could still not be enough books, right? I would want to be able to peek into the mindset, the story of any person that's ever lived, right? But then earning cryptocurrency with it, right? Content is a transaction for attention. Once you get attention, you gain the capital. You take the capital with the profits and reinvest to create a bigger ecosystem. The reason I'm here today is because of my ability to be able to foster attention. And what are the tokenomics of my attention? You're actually going to learn something. It's going to increase your happiness and your focus. It's going to give you new skill sets. It's going to take your mindset and it's going to take it to another level. I've also created a brand called Crowns. And these crowns that I've decided to put EMFs in there, which is electromagnetic frequency protectors. And that helps help you secure yourself and protect you against harmful technology such as 5G, 6G, and everything else. But the reason I put it in there was because I wanted people to be aware of the technology and to create a conversation around it. But then what I'm going to do is tokenize these as well and put technology in it for the people that actually own it to where they have content that they can scan, right? Or it gives them cryptocurrency as they go to different places and they're in that geographical location. I also have things such as gold water, right? And other minerals and nootropics that we utilize. Now, how do we get people to activate their health in a better way? Well, if we can create a system to where we can verify that people are taking their routine vitamins and minerals and give them cryptocurrency for doing it, then we can start rewarding people for doing things that are positive for their life. That's what good tokenomics is supposed to do. Help reward and influence better behavior. So in the BWO, we bridge wealth opportunities. And the gap between where you want to be and where you are is your ignorance. So the more education you have, the more you can bridge your opportunities and you can get closer and closer and closer. Some of you all in this room today have a great power that you may not yet be tapping into. You may be happy with the places that you've gotten to and where you are right now in life, but we all know that there's a greater version of ourselves that we can imagine. And I always tell people, if there's a better version of yourself that you have in your mind, don't leave it stuck in your head. Bring it into reality. I want to see the next millionaires and billionaires because they decided to take action and put it into application. We no longer fear the opportunities that exist today. We engage in them fully. In America, there's a rising movement, especially within my community, of people who want to take their opportunities serious, who are investing in building technologies. We're currently building a NFT platform, right? So that not only can you buy into these NFTs, right? Or you can buy into these cryptos, but you also understand the power of ownership and how to build wealth with it by allowing people to buy into the infrastructure and invest into the seed phrase and the seed round of it. So as you go about getting into cryptocurrency, I no longer want you to buy because of FOMO. You're going to buy because of what? Good. Come on, I need to hear some participation. We need some wake up in here. Ain't nobody had no coffee, no nothing. So what is it? When we buy in our next cryptocurrency, it has good what? Good tokenomics, right? When we look at a BitTrader and we're looking at Tatcoin, we're buying because it has good what? Exactly. So now you have a responsibility to become a responsible investor, an educated investor. Oftentimes when I do these speeches, I make sure that I don't have anything written down and prepared because I want to be able to stream the energy of the crowd, to understand what the people in the room need. What are the questions that you have? What are the answers that can be given? Well, at the same time, what are the solutions that you can create for yourself? With Tatcoin, I'm going to make sure that we go up. I'm going to make sure that the world knows what Tatcoin is and the utilities of it. Because some of the infrastructure that they've created means that they're not lazy. It means that they're not just jumping in to make money, but they're trying to really build wealth for the people that's inside the infrastructure. And when you're going to look at these coins, I want you to put it against the utility of what Tatcoin has created and ask yourself, is there a real tokenomics around this? And if it's not, then treat it accordingly. But I want everybody to give a round of applause for Tatcoin and the BitTrader today. Because I know what they've done today will be modeled and utilized all throughout the world. That people of tomorrow and all of these coins are going to try to figure out, how do we add this ecosystem? How do we add this? How do we add that? And what it does is it starts to create creative and competitive opportunities. The more people are competing on utility, the better these coins start to get, the faster the adoption rate. So even when you're jumping into these telegrams or these discords, ask them, what does it do? I know I can make money, but what does it do? Right? And don't wait till you take all my money and then build the infrastructure. What does it do now? Where's the proof of work? I'm 19 Keys. I'm a global thought leader. I will continue to push our people and all those who are interested into these new technological disruptions into the future. Because I know our paradigm, we grew into a place where from slave ship to ownership to rulership. And what that means is the slave ship is not owning anything, but being owned by everything in your environment, because environment is stronger than nature. It is our nature to be righteous, to be visionaries, to have a great imagination, to be creative, to be empowered, to walk around with confidence, to be able to speak and to be able to lead the next generation. But when we have fear, fear stops our progress so we can't move forward. And fear is caused by ignorance. That's why I speak on education and enlightenment. And once we get that, then we can start to control ourselves. We take ownership of our problems and our solutions. And once we have ownership of the platforms, ownership of the currencies, then we're no longer asking for things that we can do ourselves. Then we start to move forward into rulership, to where we can rule the ecosystems, how they're created. We're no longer asking the questions of, hey, what does this do? Or what will the future do? Or what's going to happen tomorrow? Because we decide to write down the plans, execute, project ourselves into the future, and everybody else is asking about our plans. So I'm 19 Keys with Infinite Wealth Strategies and a BWO, and I just became the global brand ambassador of Tatcoin. Thank you.
Big round of applause for 19 Keys. Big round of applause. Thank you so much for that amazing. Sorry, before you leave,
yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to call on the team. I want to call on Mr. Gaius Chibweze. I want to call on Mr. John Obidi and Mr. Amazing Kingsley to come join us on the stage for some pictures with 19 Keys.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to take a picture with the executive team, and then we're going to take one general picture of everybody facing. Thank you very much. Please join us. Please give them a round of applause as they walk up to the stage.
We need some clapping in the sun. It's too quiet, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm going to get it on the action. Let me get it on the pictures as well.
All right. We got another one, y'all good?
How do we stay?
Oh, be careful now, brother.
Oh. Actually, the best way.
So I think you have to go back a bit,
Yeah.
like maybe down.
Careful.
No.
I'm not gonna fall on camera.
Let me do it from this side.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Let's give them another round of applause.
I need some water.
Thank you so much. I feel like for all the applause now, we need to reward everyone. I feel like we should give out some free Tatcoin. Guys, what do you think? Okay, guys. So right now we're going to break for 20 minutes. So we have prepared a beautiful spread for you guys to enjoy. And when we come back here, we're going to have a quick question and answer session with Gaius, with John, and with 19 Keys. So if you have any questions that you have around Tatcoin, around the future of the ecosystem, you'll be able to ask those questions. So we can walk now to go eat. Thank you very much, guys.